now. So if you're in the room, welcome. I'm going to have to turn my volume down on this other one. Let's see here. Yes. Oh, it's giving me an ad as well. There we go. Live stream's got an ad. That's great. All right. Well, here we are live. I'm still alive, everybody. Let's see how many people. All right. We got just a few watching here. If you're in the live stream, you can go ahead and leave a chat. I'm controlling that on my computer here, so I'll go back and forth. Looks like we have Live Accessible. Hey, Carrie, how are you? She said, yes, where have I been? Well, we're going to talk about that today. And Matt in Full Vision. Matt, welcome. Glad that you're here. Let's see here. Let me skip this ad, make sure I'm still live. Okay, let me turn up this volume just real quick, make sure it's working. Okay, yes. Just wanted to check. I had some sort of ad on it. Anyway, like I said, if you're live, if you're watching this live, go ahead and leave a comment in the chat box. If you're watching this on desktop, it is to the right of the video screen. If you're on mobile, if you have the phone in portrait mode, then it is at the bottom. You can bring it up. If you're watching a live stream, I know at least on the iPhone app, it automatically brings up the chat box at the bottom. So you can just start typing in. So like I said, I am doing the controlling the live stream here from my whatever this is. This computer. There we go. Words are hard. Anyway, let's see. Okay, I'm zooming in. Let's find out who else we got here. Hey, Doug. Yes, I'm alive. Just like Frankenstein. He's alive. He's alive. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. All right. So I am going to... all right, we got 8 here now. 7, 8. I'm probably one of those, so that's all right because I am watching the live stream. Let's see. Martin, hey there. Greetings from Ireland. Oh, that's so cool. I love it when people are on here from other countries because it just makes it so international. It's like, wow. I think growing up as a kid, pre-internet, when there was not that ability, if you wanted to call somebody across the country or let alone across the world, it was like, what the heck, and so now we can just talk to people from everywhere. Yeah, so anyway, okay, well, I am going to let's put that black. I am going to just talk for a few minutes. I'll jump back into the chat box here in just a little bit, but I'm just going to talk. So yes, as Doug mentioned, I am alive. I'm going to take this one out of my ear. Actually, I'm going to put this right here. Sorry if there's noise on the microphone. My apologies. There we go. So, like I said, I am still alive, so that's good. I'm just going to talk for a few minutes about where I've been, what's been going on, and the future, and so forth. So if you do have any questions or comments, you can leave those in the chat. I will look at those here in just a few minutes if you're just joining me or whatever the case may be. All right, so my last video I produced was in early May the 10th, I think that was the last one. So it's been well over a month since I've done a video. A lot of people have been sending me a lot of kind messages, a lot of, hey, what's been going on? Are you gone? Has something bad happened? Are you okay? Those sort of things. And so if you're one of those people, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And the answer is simply nothing's been going on. There's nothing bad that's happened. I've not been sick. No major catastrophes in life, knock on wood, those sort of things. Nothing's been going on. The reality is sometimes in life we just have low seasons. And I don't necessarily mean emotionally low, although I have had some anxiety here and there over the last month or so. Nothing catastrophic, just, general stuff. But sometimes we just have low seasons. We don't produce a lot. We don't have a lot of production coming out. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's just that in our culture, it's like, well, you've committed to this. For example, I've committed to doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos, and then I just drop out and do nothing. So people are like, we've committed to this. Why aren't you doing it? And I think that, for the majority of people, kind people who care, like, it's cool, take care of yourself. And we've talked about that. But I just have had no motivation, to be 100% honest, just to be transparent with you guys. I've just not been motivated. Excuse me. My wife has been very supportive. She's like, are you going to make any videos? And what are you going to do? And I'm like, you know, I probably am, but I just haven't. Sorry about that. It's got something caught in my throat. You know, and so it's just been one of those seasons where I haven't done a bunch of stuff. I've not been motivated. The creative juices have not been flowing. And again, there's nothing wrong. It's just one of those times in life. And so, of course, the people always have the question, okay, well, when are you coming back? What are you going to do? Are you going to make more videos? And I've thought about it, and I'm not going to make more videos, but I don't have any grand plan. Like back in March, I took like 3 weeks off to redo the website and come up, you know, and I came back, I had this plan. Now I don't really have the plan. I don't have another time frame I'm going to make videos. I'm not saying I'm not going to make videos. I just don't know when and how I'm going to do it. I don't really have any content coming down the pipeline or anything. I'm sure there's lots of content I could make. You know, people have asked questions and things like that. I just setting up the camera and putting the light up and all that stuff just sounds like so much work. And I know we all have to do work. I get it. My wife's like, oh, I said, it sounds like so much work. She's like, well, wouldn't that be nice if I could just not go to work? I'm like, I get it. I understand. I get that that sounds sort of petty, but you know, I don't know. I think sometimes with anxiety, people look at it as like you're lazy and you're just, you know, somebody told me, I was talking to them recently and they told me, well, just choose to be productive. I'm like, yeah, wouldn't that be great? Just choose, you know, just tell some sad person, just choose to be happy. Like it just doesn't work that way. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just, you know, we can't just choose to be something that we're not in those moments. Sometimes we have to, you know, go like I've still had to take care of my kids and cook dinner and take care of the house. You know, sometimes we have to, you know, do the things we don't necessarily always want to do. We always want to choose to sit on the couch and watch TV, but sometimes we can't. But making these videos, even though lots of people have been helped by them, it's just become a task that, I don't know, my brain's like turned off. I'm also in the mode of trying to get a job, which has been a huge challenge, not necessarily because I can't get one, like I've interviewed, can't get one. It's just so slow. And it's just like, oh, it's a mess. And then also I'm about just a little over 4 weeks from going to get the guide dog. Tomorrow will be 1 month actually. And so it'll be very, you know, that's on my brain. That's really, you know, we're trying to prepare for that. And that's a whole thing. So yeah, making videos is just not on the top of the list. And you know, I want to be creative. You know, I feel like a creative person. But the reality is, and I'm just going to, again, I'm trying to be transparent with you guys. And I will get to if you guys want to say stuff and questions in the chat here in a bit, but I'm rambling for a second. When I've made videos, especially coming from a standpoint where I'm making videos about blindness, I am blind, I'm visually impaired myself, I always strive to make the highest quality video I can make. I want it to look good. I want it to sound good. I want people to watch the video and just ignore the fact that I'm blind. When I was in theater, I remember in college, I was doing a show and somebody, I think the PR person was asking, how much do you want me to talk about your visual impairment when I go to newspapers and radio stations and such? You know, how much do you want me to put out there? And I said, none. And she was like, why? And I said, well, I don't want people coming to the show and focusing on the fact that this guy playing this character is blind. I don't want to get the whole, well, he's pretty good for a blind guy. I don't want to get that. I want them to focus on the show. And it wasn't because I was ashamed of my blindness. I mean, you can know I'm blind, I don't care. But it was because I wanted them to focus on what I was doing, the creativeness, you know, the character I was playing. And so that's still true when I make videos. I don't want them to focus on the fact I'm blind. I want them just to watch the video. But it also has to do with the fact that I want to present a good quality product because I want people to watch this and be like, wow, he's blind. This is really good quality. Because so often, you know, I think that people assume that blind people can't do anything. And when we make videos and they're just kind of whatever, it's like, and look, I'm not telling you not to make videos if you can't see very well. Go for it. Do whatever you want to do. I think that's great. But for me, I want to represent the blind community as well as possible. And I say that with all sincerity, not to knock anyone else. It's just I want to try to represent as good as I can. However, that can cause me to be a perfectionist at times. It's like, this is not in frame. This audio doesn't sound good. This and just makes me a perfectionist. And perfection shuts you down. It talks about paralysis analysis. This whole idea that, you know, or analysis paralysis. I said that backwards. Analysis paralysis, where we're so focused on looking at the thing and thinking about it that the thing never gets created, and that's not good either. So I think that shut me down a bit too, where I'm so focused. Okay, I got to set this light, I got to set this mic, I got to do, and it's just so much work. I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is, but so I think I really want to get back to the whole idea of just making videos. Whether those videos look amazing, sound amazing, I just want to put out content that people can enjoy and ultimately let them know that they're not alone, because that's really the whole crux of this thing is, yeah, I want people to know that there is life after sight loss, but I want them to know that they're not alone, because I'm living my life. Maybe you're living your life, and we can do this together. So I'm trying to get away from the whole production of things, trying to get back to the just, the content. Like, what am I talking about? I still want to look good and sound good. I just don't want it to be so much work that it's not fun anymore. Because it's one of those things, I'm not making any money off of it or anything. So it's just a hobby at this point. It's fun. I get to help people, and it's great. I just don't want it to lose that luster of like, this is enjoyable. And I also am creative in other ways. I've thought about, just as a site, like I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I thought about making Star Wars content, like, making a whole separate channel just talking about Star Wars. My wife and I, she's still on me about doing the podcast. So we are planning on doing that again soon. But, she's like, she has other interests. And I thought about maybe helping her get something started with either video or audio or something. My kids are in the stage now where they have interest, and they've talked about maybe doing a YouTube channel. I'm still leery on putting my kids on YouTube, in their own sort of starring role, but we're still talking about that. So there's lots of other creative things, not to mention this potential job, which may change all of that, because who knows how much I'll end up working depending on what job I get. So there's lots of stuff going on. That being said, I so enjoy hearing from all of you people. I mean, you guys have been great. Everybody's sending me nice messages. Hey, Derek, how you doing? All those sort of things. I really, really appreciate it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have grand update for you guys. Like, hey, I'm coming back this day. I'm getting to the, I'm just counting down the time to go into guide dog school. I am planning on filming at guide dog school so that I'll have that for content when I return. But, as of now, I don't have any grand plan. And it's not because I don't want to do it. It's just I don't have this vision for it right now. And that's cheesy sounding, but I just don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. The live stream would be, cathartic. It'd be great. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's where I'm at. My life is good. I'm enjoying life. We just got a new roof put on our house. We're planning on buying a new refrigerator. We're just doing life as you do. So life is still good, and trying to enjoy the summer, even though it's like fall outside today. I think Mother Nature is drunk, and she hasn't figured it out yet. But it's just one of those things where life is good, and I'm not making any videos. And I think people, it's you falling off the wagon, or you're not doing this, or something's wrong. No, nothing's wrong. Life is good, and I'm not making any videos. If you remember back, I made a video where I talked about how sight loss sucks and life is good. Things happen at the same time. I'm just not creating videos, and my life is still very good. So I just want you to know that things can happen at the same time. Yeah, I'm sure there's more I want to say. Let me jump into the chat box here and talk about that for a minute. As I look at this, even I see the framing is not great. I should be up. It doesn't matter. Forget it. All right, so let's go up here and see what we've got. Let's see. Okay. Oh, somebody from England is here. Matt, you're from England. That's awesome. Carrie says, maybe I just need a break. Yeah, we all need a break from time to time, Carrie. Absolutely. I wish I knew how long that break was going to last, but sometimes we do. Some of this is obviously I'm coming back and hitting things, but Doug talks about overthinking things. Yeah, I'm totally the same way. I tend to overthink things to death. Vincent says my wife might take over the channel. My wife would never take over. My wife would never, because she's like, I got too much stuff to do. I have to be the responsible one. Forget that. Let's see. She is. It's so funny how when you guys see her on the video on the podcast and you hear her and such, that is she's just not the outgoing person. She's very introverted. She'd rather be at home by herself reading a book. She's introverted, but if I can get her in conversation, she'll talk, she'll laugh, that sort of thing. But we're so opposite when it comes to this kind of stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. Edward says he's a YouTube. He's a YouTube. He's a YouTuber, uses a front-facing camera, so people can see. So he agrees. It doesn't matter. That's right. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, if you're creating something, you just need to create it and let. Here's the thing. Somebody told me once, and they had read a book and had this in there, and I really liked it. It was this idea that sometimes we create things so that we can make money, so that we can get subscribers, so that we can, something will happen. And so often we forget to create things just for the sake of creating them, just because we like it, just because we enjoy it. For example, when I talked about the Star Wars stuff, there's a bajillion Star Wars YouTube channels and podcasts. I'm like, what am I going to add to this space? Like, what does it even matter? Why would I put that out there? And so we get locked into that imposter syndrome. It's like, I'm just making it, but I like that and I want to make this. So why wouldn't I make it? It's just creating for the sake of creating. Doesn't matter the tech you have, doesn't matter the gear. You just create for the sake of creating. And then if people like it and they latch onto it, that can be good, but that can also be, and I don't want to say a detriment, but when I started this channel, it was just a cathartic thing. Oh, I'm just going to release some stuff about sight laws, guide dogs, whatever. And then people started liking it and they follow. And then it shifted for me from just making videos and being cathartic for me to like having to produce for people that were watching. Oh, they're expecting me on Monday or whatever the day is, or they like this, or people are asking questions. Now I got to do this, or I got to make my channel art good. And I've got to make sure I'm consistent. I'm creating a YouTube channel rather than just creating content because I like it and I think it'll be helpful to people. It's cathartic for me as well. So yeah, definitely. We have to do that for sure. And hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. So, yeah, Matt in Full Vision says he's doing the same thing. He's got finals, he's got classwork and just taking a break. Nothing wrong, just needing a break. And I think YouTube culture and internet culture suggests that we can't take a break. If you promise people you're going to be there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you got to be there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or else, whatever. And you can have a break for maybe 2 days and that's it. It's like, we just can't plan our breaks. Sometimes maybe we say, I'm going to take, like in March, which is bad timing because I just took a break in March, but I had a specific thing I was doing and then I planned on coming back. It wasn't like I just needed a break. That was something planned. And then my body was like, you know what? We're going to take a break. So, yeah, we just need breaks and there's nothing wrong with that. Let's see. This jumped up on me. Sorry. There we go. Let's see. Yes. So Vincent says he was doing so many and then he started editing and then it was less. And then he's like, this is just too much. He's down to one. I thought about that. Like, what if I just make one? Sam did that recently. He just cut down to one video a week. I thought maybe I'll just do one video a week right now. Maybe just produce one. Let that be, it could even be a little longer because I'm only doing one. And, I don't know, maybe that's a thing to do, but I think that's a good point. Sorry. That's a good point. Sometimes we just have to cut it down. We're just like, I can't do 3. I can't edit 3 in a week. It's just too much. Maybe my wife and I just do the podcast and I start producing that consistently. Then maybe add a video in later if I can. But sometimes we just have to cut it down. Say we just can't do that much. And some of it too is because I think Vincent mentioned that it's too much for a sight. And my level of sight the same as wears my eyes out. I can't do it. Let's see. Let's see. So, yeah, Matt says he's finished his exams, but still taking a break because there's a lot going on. And again, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we just have to remember that. All right, let's see. So, I just wanted to make sure I got them all scrolling. Yes, okay. Let me see if I select that. Okay, sorry, just trying something. It's the joy. Let's see where we are here, folks. So yeah, I think the consensus is we've got to take a break. If your body needs a break, it will let you know. When I was working, I worked at a theme park for a few years, just a small theme park. It was local. And I did the entertainment. I sang and danced and things like that. Well, there was this one time I woke up, I got in the shower, and usually I would warm up in the shower. You know, everybody sings in the shower. It's a good place to warm up. And I started singing and nothing was coming out. And I got laryngitis. I'd never had laryngitis, ever, never, not once did my voice go out like that. It just was gone. And so I was like, I could not sing. Now, my body was like, you know what? I think we need a break. And I had laryngitis for a week. And one day it just came back. And I'm not saying it was some cosmic sign or anything like that, but sometimes our body is smarter than us and lets us know, yeah, I think you might need a break. And so, you know, I don't know if sometimes the anxiety is a reminder that we need a break, or else it's going to get worse, and that's not good. Sometimes it can be fatigue, physical fatigue, mental fatigue. Sometimes it can just be your family going, hey, we miss you. Are you around anymore? You know, and that can be a sign as well. And again, I'm not talking about, you need some cosmic sign. If you need a break, if you think you do, just take the break and don't worry about it. Ultimately, we can all get off YouTube right now and not make any more videos and not do anything else, and our lives will be complete. Because YouTube is not what completes us. You can talk about your family, you can talk about your faith, you can talk about you know, your loves and your passions, you know, whatever thing fits in for you there. But it's not creating videos. I love creating videos. It's fun, it's enjoyable, people like it, it's good, but it's not what completes me. It's kind of like saying that sight loss isn't my definition. It doesn't define me. It's part of me, but it doesn't define me. And YouTube doesn't complete me. I could never do YouTube again. I could never make another video, and I would be complete, and that would be okay. And you guys, maybe you have the same. Maybe it's YouTube, maybe something else, and it will be fine. You know, I would be complete. I feel proud of the videos I've done, but it doesn't mean I have to do more. Now, I think that is, for me, it sounds scary. Like, you're not going to do anymore. I think it's a release. Like, you don't have to do anymore. So if I do one, it's not because I have to. It's because I get to, because I want to. And I think that's a whole different thing than say, oh, people are depending on you. You need to be there Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, people are going to think you're a piece of garbage. Oh, you're never going to grow your YouTube channel like this. And honestly, I've gotten subscribers in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And I think people just slowly, you know, find things and watch videos, and it's enjoyable. And eventually it's going to trail off because you're not making any new videos in 8 years and nobody cares. But people will find you. And just because you're not creating videos 4 times a week doesn't mean you're not going to grow. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Okay. Go back here. Doug says, if my wife is an introvert, why did she agree to the podcast? That's a good question, Doug. I will ask her that for sure. But just from my side of the table, the simple answer is my wife loves me. And I know that's stupid. Like, oh, she loves you. No, she really does. She's super supportive. And I think we have dealt with sight loss, you know, since we were teenagers. She was with me when I started losing my sight. So we dealt with this almost our entire relationship. We started dating when we were 15, but, you know, almost our entire relationship. And so she sees all of these things and has thoughts and opinions that for sighted supporters that need to go out there. And so I think she's like, yeah, I want to do that. Plus, I think she secretly likes talking on the microphone, and, you know, I think she likes that. She would never do it on her own, but I think she enjoys that just a little bit. But she's definitely not an extrovert. And just as a side note, a big difference between she and I being extroverted versus introverted, and this is just a life lesson, I guess. Extroverts aren't just people who talk a lot. Introverts aren't just people who are quiet. It's also about how they process information. Extroverts process externally. Introverts process internally. Usually, not 110% of the time, but, you know, usually. So for me, I need to talk out loud, or excuse me, think out loud. Everybody talks out loud. I need to think out loud. You know, I need to process out loud. Okay, let me weigh all the options out here, blah, blah. My wife is introverted. She'll think about it, come to me with a decision. Many an argument have happened in my house because she thinks I've made a decision when I'm talking about it. A good example I always give people is that it's kind of like having a box of Legos, just a box of Legos. And the extrovert comes to the table, dumps out their Legos on the table and says, let's build this together. where the introvert has built their thing and brought it to the table and says, here, it's already built. There you go. And the extrovert's like, well, you stripped me of the chance of talking about, building together. And the introvert's like, this table is a mess. Why are you doing this? So that's a big difference between us being extroverted and introverted. That's a whole side note. I don't know why I went there. Maybe somebody needed that today. Let's go to the next comment. Let's see. Yeah, Vincent says he really likes the podcast with my wife. I appreciate it, Vincent. That's great. Matt says he's got to go. Well, Matt, if you're still watching, probably not because this was a while ago, but thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully you're doing well, and we'll keep up the good work when you come back to YouTube. So yeah, I think, guys, let me see. Let me get a time here. I don't plan on being here forever. It's 1:55. We got a little time. If you guys have any questions, with anything, feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Part of me has thought maybe I'll just do a weekly live stream every once in a while. Not every once in a while, every week, if it's weekly. Oh, my brain's fried. Maybe I'll just do that and come up with a different topic every time and maybe do a demonstration, something of that nature. I've thought about that. That would cut down on my production and my editing completely. That would just take it all out because it's just live streams. So I've thought about doing that. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I could do the podcast with this is where I think out loud. This is why I'm extroverted. Maybe I could do do the podcast with my wife and then do a live stream on top of that, because I would just have to edit the podcast and then do the live stream. Again, I'm not sure. I don't know what will happen. I'm also the type of person who gets real obsessed with things. I can only focus on one thing at a time, it feels like. Do you remember, if you're old enough to remember in the library, we had the little cards, and you go look up where the book is, the Dewey Decimal System, I think it was. I feel like I can only open one of those drawers at a time, only one at a time. I can't focus on anything else except for that. So when I'm focused on YouTube, I am super hyper focused on it. But if something draws my attention away, I get so focused on that, I can't focus on anything else. It's a pet, or not. It's my wife's pet peeve. It's just an issue I have. I'm working on it. My son is just like me, drives me nuts, and my wife nuts, and so I can totally see why it would drive her nuts. But it just is what it is. So I'm working on that, but it's just part of my life. Oh, let's see here. Doug says weekly live stream would be good. That's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, Doug. So I think it would be good. I'll play around with that thought a little more, maybe roll around in my head. And Vincent says that the doctors think you have LHON. Welcome to the LHON family. If you think you have LHON, there is a Facebook group, Leber's Hereditary Optic Neuropathy. You can search it out on Facebook. And there's also a group that could be for you, your wife, friends, whatever, people. But there is a group called LHON to LHON, TO to LHON. That's for people who are affected, like, people who are actually visually impaired. So there are those Facebook groups if you want to join it, if you think you have LHON. I was telling somebody the other day that I had recently met, talking about my eye disease, and they're like, "Oh, tell me what happened." I was like, "That's actually a pretty boring story. There's not, And they're like, "What's not boring to us?" I'm like, "Oh, well, you haven't lived with it for all these years. It's telling the same story over and over and over. It's kind of gets dull, but that's just how it is." Let's see here. Okay, sorry, just taking a quick look here. Okay. Okay, that's nice, Tracy. I'll let Tracy mention to Vincent. Glad you found out. I think that's what's great about the YouTube community, or communities in general. We support one another. It's great for you, and things like that. So I think that's awesome. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. I don't think I have a whole bunch else. I wasn't planning on making this a big to-do. I just wanted to kind of come in and let you guys know that I had not fallen off the face of the earth or anything like that. Nothing happened. My life is good. Life is good. And I'm just sort of in a break. To be honest, I like to be transparent, like to be authentic. If I were pressed for an answer right now, I don't think I'm going to make another video until I get the guide dog. Now, that's maybe I will. Somebody has recently talked to me about making a review video for something, so I might do that. But I'm not going to come back with consistency, I think, until after the guide dog. We're in preparation mode for that. My brain, again, I can only focus on one thing at a time. So that's just what it is right now. So is that true? Not true? I don't know. I'm just being authentic and transparent with you guys. So, but in the meantime, you can know Derek's fine. Everything's okay. He's not falling off the face of the earth. So it'll be fine. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. So we'll see. Let's see here. Get a last couple messages. Does this say beard? The blind beard. Sorry, I thought it said board. I was like, is that what it says? So the blind beard said they have LHON and they fear losing more vision. That's a really good point. Somebody asked me the other day when I was talking to them and I didn't know them. They said, does your disease progress? Is it going to get worse? I always give them two answers. One, it's not supposed to get any worse, at least from what I've been told. And two, I wasn't planning on losing the sight I have now, so who really knows? You know, it's just one of those things. I don't like, it does scare me at times to lose more sight, just because I'm comfortable at my level of sight right now. I've really gotten comfortable with traveling and using the computer and all those sort of things. So if I lose more, my life's going to change a bit. Doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just, you know, it's just going to change, and, you know, that's okay. But yeah, that can be a common fear for sure. All right, guys. Well, I am going to hop off here. I want to thank everybody for joining me. If you've watched this on the replay, thanks for sticking around to the end. I really appreciate it. You can leave all your comments and questions down below in this video, and I'll try to pay attention and watch out so I can reply and give you answers to that. And if you're watching this on the live stream and you've been keeping up with me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And again, to all the people who sent me nice comments, messages, emails, and so forth, thank you so much. It's good to know that people care, even if they're halfway around the world. So that is going to wrap it up for me. Thank you again for watching. Let me make sure I can actually turn this thing off. All right, guys. Well, I hope all of you have a great day. And as I always say, remember, sight loss isn't the end. It's just the beginning. My name's Derek. I'll see you guys in the next one.